a Chinese person or an Indian person in Malaysia is not forced to practice Islam. But as long as you are from the majority tribe, which is Malay, then yeah, 100% you must be a Muslim. So Malays are Muslims. What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a beautiful day wherever you're watching from. It's that day again. Today I quickly want to share with us 5 facts we should know about Malaysia. Of course, some of us have been to Malaysia or has been to Malaysia but know nothing whatsoever about this beautiful country. So today I'll be sharing 5 amazing facts about the country Malaysia. Let's go. Form of government here in Malaysia is called Federal Constitutional Monarchy. It's kind of confusing, right? Federal Constitutional Monarchy. It's like 3 governors in one. But actually, let me break it down for you. It's a form of government where the Prime Minister is the head of government, and the Agong, which is known as the King, is head of state. Different from what I actually grew up experiencing. You know, being from Nigeria, we practice democracy where the president is actually the head of state. But here in Malaysia, the Prime Minister is not the head of state. The head of state is the Agong, the king, while the Prime Minister is head of governance, which means they practice democracy and the Prime Minister makes sure everything goes smoothly within every federal form of governance. And we can relate the form of governance to what is being practiced in Great Britain, you know, where they have a king and the king actually holds higher power. But the difference between Malaysian king and a British king is Malaysia king don't get to stay in power for too long. They actually have a rotational power process where a new king is being installed every 5 years, unlike the British ruler where they get to stay in power as long as they live. So I think that's the only difference between a king here in Malaysia and a king in Great Britain. Malays are Muslims. Yes, Malays are Muslims. I didn't say Malaysians are Muslims. Malays are Muslims. Now, that's one thing you need to understand when you find yourself in Malaysia. Even though they are called Malaysians, but there is an ethnic group called Malay, which are the majority. So, according to the constitution in Malaysia, if you are a Malay person, you must, capital letter underlined, must practice Islam. There's no two-way around that. If you are a Malay person in Malaysia, it's only possible for you to practice one religion, which is Islam. So when I say Malays are Muslims, I'm not saying Malaysians are Muslims. I'm saying a Malay person. If you are from a Malay tribe, then it's impossible for you to practice whatsoever but Islam. So I hope you understand. I mean, a Chinese person or an Indian person in Malaysia is not forced to practice Islam. But as long as you are from the majority tribe, which is Malay, then yeah, 100% you must be a Muslim. So Malays are Muslims. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if I actually did justice to the explanation, but hopefully my English is quite good enough for you to understand. Malaysia is an incredibly diverse country containing many different ethnicities, languages, and religions. And the amazing thing is people from different ethnicities have actually kept their heritage and their ancestors' culture or custom. So let it come to no surprise. If you find yourself in Malaysia, you get to meet Chinese Malay and Indian. Even though the Malay are the majority, but irrespective of where you go, you find a Chinese person on the street and an Indian person on the street. So when it comes to diversity, Malaysia is actually an incredibly diverse environment to be. Even though they are so diverse and they have different ethnic groups here in Malaysia, but the official language here is Bahasa Melayu. So irrespective of what your cultural background is, what your ethnic group is, you still get to speak Bahasa Melayu, even though you still get to keep your own ethnicity or your own language, which means if you come to Malaysia, a Chinese person still speaks Chinese, an Indian person still speaks Tamil, you know, but they all still speak Bahasa Melayu, and it's actually acknowledged as the official language here in Malaysia. Malaysia has the tallest twin towers in the world. I mean, if you've been to Kuala Lumpur, then you can attest to the fact that they have this crazy, or should I say massive building called Surya KFCC, where the architecture is just out of this world. Petronas Twin Towers is one of Malaysia's most recognizable and iconic landmark, standing at 1,483 feet. It's 88-story super tall skyscraper. So if you come to Malaysia, it's one of the things in Kuala Lumpur that is going to just blow you away. Trust me. And last but not the least, Singapore was part of Malaysia. And now you're gonna be like, oh no, well, what's that? So Singapore was actually part of Malaysia for at least 2 years before finally breaking away on August 9 of 1965. And after breaking away, they became an independent and a sovereign state. The separation was the result of deep political and economic differences between the ruling party of Malaysia and Singapore at that time. And I think it's a beautiful thing that Singapore broke away. Just look at Singapore today. It's kind of beautiful, right? It's like one of the best places to be in the world today, and it's the most expensive place to actually live in the world today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do me a favor by smashing that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys, and see you on the next one. Peace out.